Hey, Railbirds, Kevin here. Here we are with quarterfinal number 2 at the 2022 Premier Billiards U.S. National Artistic Pool Championships, presented by McDermott Cues. We're coming at you live from the Clubhouse Bar and Billiards here in Lynchburg, Virginia. This event brought to you by PremierBilliards.com. McDermott Cues, thank you for your support. Also sponsored by Aramith Billiard Balls, Napa of Madison County, and Balance Billiards. Up on the stream, up on the screen, we have Jason Lynch, Michigan Kid. I'm going to turn the microphone over to Brian Pauly and Mark White.
Hi, guys. Hi,
Mr.
Brian.
Mark, how are you doing?
I'm good, Superman. How are you?
Well, I've had better days.
Yeah, I just replied to your post, actually, that you put on Facebook. And yesterday, well, talk about a tale of two different days. It was leaderboard for you when you woke up this morning, but unfortunately, today it didn't happen. But we have all had days like that, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the pool correlation to this is like in a matchroom event. You know, you're beating everybody 9-1, 9-2, getting out from everywhere. Then you get to the final 64, and then you can't make a ball, and you go out.
Yeah. And it sounds like you're taking it really well. I mean, how else can you take it? And it's just one of those days. It could have happened could have happened to the other guy. I mean, Tim Chin.
Yeah, it just happens.
Unbelievable,
And Tim's been
wasn't he?
around a long time. He's a great player. So I'm not upset.
No, of course not. He played really well today, and it was an off day for you. So to this match then, how do we see this one going?
Well, this is a rematch of a semifinal match last year. So these guys have been around. They've played each other a lot. So this is going to be a good one. Jason is shooting a shot called the hood variation. So you make the 1 and the 2 in the side in the corner. Cue ball bounces around twice and then makes the combination. Little tricky, trick and fancy shot here. And look at it. Looks like he got it.
Wow. Yeah, shared the booth with Jason for your match, and it was really interesting to hear from Jason his perspective on the shots, and I'm looking forward to getting your expert opinion as well.
I appreciate that. As you see with Jason, the touchy part with this shot is not necessarily the combination kiss shot. It's the cue ball coming off 2 rails and figuring out, okay, do I have too much high? Do I have too much outside? And then trying to figure out, okay, what works for me? What the adjustment is. So Jamie is going to figure out what works for him. As you notice, there is a gap in between the 2 combination balls. There is a gap allowed, but the balls have to be in a straight line, so you can't have them offset at all.
Okay, gotcha. These are the little things that we need to know, stuff that Kevin and I never knew, of course. So is he playing this with right-hand English? Will he be playing this?
It really depends on how you hit it. I hit this with top with just a little bit of inside. Some people hit it with just straight top.
Looks like he needed a bit of right on that, right?
Yeah, a little bit of right and maybe a little more juice on the top.
Okay.
But then sometimes you try to make the adjustment and then you juice it too much and it goes on the other side. I've had that happen many times, and then Tom Rossman would say, well, you win on both sides, just hit it in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, but I often refer to it as like a dart shot. It's like 1 high, 1 low, and then 1 in the middle.
Yep. Good analogy.
And there's some lovely waistcoats, vests as you call them,
yep,
on show here at this event. He looks fantastic.
You make the adjustment.
He jumped up on that, didn't he?
Yeah, and he missed the one ball towards the beginning. He got the hard part. But speaking of
So
vests and speaking of
Yeah.
Jamie, I have a very funny vest story. So I woke up yesterday and I forgot to pack my vests. So
Right.
I have a black one, a blue one, and a red one, got all the patches on them. And I borrowed Jamie Moody's vest for yesterday and today, that orange one that you see me wear. So I had my wife overnight my vest shipping, and they showed up like 3/4 the way through my match with Tim. So I finally got a chance to wear one of mine on the stream for like maybe 3 shots.
Oh. There's lots of stories of people losing their cues, their luggage not arriving on flights just recently. I mean, obviously you didn't fly; it was your own fault. But there's lots of stories going around about stuff like that, and some great stories of people borrowing other people's cues and actually winning to get through the first round of a tournament using somebody else's cue. I remember Victor Zelensky happened to him recently. Anyway, back to this. Maybe you could just let us know about how the scoring works, Brian, on this particular.
So this is a 10-point shot. So this is his third attempt. So now it's only worth 8 points. Just the same when Jason hit it on his third attempt. It was 8 points. So whatever point value the shot is, if you make it on your first try, you get the full point value. If you make it on your second try, it's this full point value -1. And then on your third try, full point value -2.
Got
And
it.
if you miss all 3 tries, you get 0, which unfortunately I did a lot of today. So
Actually, Brian, can you explain the format of the playoffs?
sure. So we've been shooting the 8 disciplines. So you go through the 8 starting off. So this is trick and fancy. So since who was it? Jason won the lag. Nope, no points for Jamie. So now Jamie leads out in the next discipline, which is discipline 2. And then they leapfrog back and forth or switch. You go through all 8 shots in the disciplines, and then there's a wild card to where you have 4 shots to pick from anywhere. As long as you don't as long as you don't copy the same category for your final 4. So you can't go like jump, masse, masse. You can go jump, masse, stroke, draw. So you can't be just a one-trick pony.
Gotcha.
Here's a shot that is actually in both of their wheelhouses. Jamie shoots this really well. It's the old 3-2-1, 1-2-3 shot.
Yeah, I watched this last night when I was commentating with Kevin, and Kevin said this is one of the more difficult ones, and I thought, well, how can this be difficult? Until I saw it played. Well, look at this! Oh, nearly.
2. Wow. It's one of those things to where if somebody thinks it's an easy shot, then we say, hey, well, you set it up and see how you do with it. And I really haven't seen anybody in my pool room make this.
Really? Yeah, I said it's off the rail. It's tight on that rail, frozen to the rail. It's a long distance, and you're shooting into a diamond pocket, which aren't the most generous. And of course, you've got the speed. You've got to move quickly.
He hit that hard. He's got to hurry.
Oh.
The key ball is that first ball you hit. You want to hit that as close to pocket speed as you can.
Right.
And that's one of those, don't get frantic, don't tense up. Just keep going with it. See if we can get this on his third try now.
Oh, the 2 isn't quick enough. The 2 was played just the same pace as the 3, really.
I think Jamie really knew that because Jason shoots this well too. So if Jason can get this, he'll be up a considerable point value after 2 shots. In the playoffs, you really want to try to play to your opponent's weaknesses and play to your strengths.
So Jason's first attempt, the Michigan kid.
Ace. That looks good. First try, 10 points.
Well, you called it, Brian.
I have a feeling I know what's coming next, but we'll see. Because Jason's leading out in the odd disciplines.
Well, I know you're Superman and you've got superpowers, but I didn't know you were psychic as well. I've learnt something new about you. Oh, and I must apologise about my rap for you, about you, sorry.
Oh, I thought it was hysterical when I first watched it. I was actually honored that two-piece cue would rap for me, so I'm ecstatic.
I told you I would. That night that we had the conversation, I said,
Yep.
right, tomorrow you've given me enough fodder.
And to respond to something in your rap, I have no interest in playing Roberto a race to 10 9-ball. Now,
Oh, yeah,
if
but
he
the
wants to
rub
play
is
me in
he has
this,
to play you. Yes, exactly. That's the rub.
well, that's the interesting thing, because I've had people ask me, like, what happens if I play Shane Van Boning, right? Well, what are we playing? If we play a regular pool, I got no chance against him. But if Shane plays me in this, he's got no chance against me. So it's a wash pretty much at that point.
It'd be interesting to see some of the top flight rotation players, you know, get on a table with you guys and have a bit of fun, and you know, just show the world exactly how difficult this art actually is.
Yep. Here's a nice little cluster draw shot. So the 3 balls go in all bottom 3 pockets, draw back straight, make the 9-ball. The hardest part of this is drawing back straight. Looks like he hit it good. There it is.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, he's on form tonight.
Yeah, so what Jason's doing is a good strategy. He is picking lower skilled shots so he can just make them, since he's already up by 18 points. So at this point, just make points. And now Jamie is going to have to come with some harder shots to try to get caught back up. I think an example of your analogy of, let's say, a rotation player playing artistic pool is when Jude Trump played in the U.S. Open, and then he had to play Jason Shaw. Like, he could, like, the guys he played beforehand weren't really like top caliber, but then you have a really good snooker player playing against a world-class rotation player, and I think Jason beat him 9-0.
I beat him 11-1.
It was 11-1, yeah. So
yeah, 11-1, yeah.
So if someone like a Roberto Gomez and me played in an artistic pool match, it would be about the same thing. But if I play him race to 10 in rotation, it would be the same way, the exact opposite way.
Yeah, I mean, and although Jason Shaw has been a snooker player in his past, I mean, he wouldn't stand a chance against Judd Trump on a snooker table now. So it's all kind of relative, isn't it? I mean, they are completely different sports, and I'd love to see at some stage a snooker player, you know, just give it a go. But with the money available at pool, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. They're not going to put the time in.
Right. It's something you really have to like. Ooh.
Wow, very close. But as you said, the difficult part is drawing back in a straight line. So did he get a little bit of unwanted English? Was his aim slightly off, or what went wrong there, do you think, Brian?
It didn't seem to me like he had any side spin on it. I think he might have just hit it like at an angle, because where you set it up, the cue ball is directly behind the middle ball. And actually, you can see on the table, we actually grid the table with a chalk line. So you can, so everything is like within grids, within the certain spots it has to be at. So I don't think he set it up wrong as far as it's definitely in a straight line when he sets it up. I think he just hit it off angle just a little bit. Because if you set that cluster up correctly, it goes every time.
Right.
I expect him to make this. Nice shot, Jamie.
He did, yeah.
5 points.
Very nice. So,
now Jamie's going to lead out and follow. So we'll see what follow shot Jamie picks here. So he's going to pick a high point shot that he can make, and hopefully Jason has trouble with.
He's clever, isn't he? He's kind of like two boxers, you know. One's got the longer jab than the other on certain things. One's got the knockout punch, the other one hasn't. Maybe a crazy analogy, that, but I know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so Jamie has picked the shot called the inside spinner. So this is like a force follow with inside English. So this is kind of like a pool shot, to where like you're making your first ball and then just coming around 2 rails. So let's say if you're playing a 9-ball game and then you got to get position in what that D pocket would have been. So you cut your 8-ball, then spin around 2 rails, and then come down for your position. So this is kind of like a pool shot.
Yeah, this is a real cueing shot, this, isn't it? Nice and smooth, high on the cue ball, a little bit of right hand. And this looks very good.
Spin off that rail.
Ooh, oh, man. Just slightly more English, just a quarter of a tip or something. Minor adjustment.
Yep, just a little more side spin, and he's got that.
Oh, look at that.
I expect him to make this and get his adjustment on this. Come on, Jamie.
Oh, he's missed the part. Too much emphasis on the cue ball.
Yeah, there's so many different variables in all of this, and it's like trying to get all of them together can be a little tricky, pun intended.
We love a good pun around here.
Oh, Pun City. Actually, I think that waistcoat that he's got on there would suit you, Brian. It's the Superman colours. Oh, he's missed the pot again. Wow. And he got so close, didn't he? First time.
Yeah, sometimes with these shots, I mean, if you get really, really close, sometimes it's just tough to duplicate. Like with Tim Chin on that circular draw, he hit it so good, and then the next 2 just weren't necessarily good. And we do that all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah, I remember the shot, through the window shot last night when you almost made it on the first go. You got so close, and then the next 2 weren't. Just shows you, doesn't it, how the minor adjustments you need to make, sometimes they are so minor, it's hard to actually judge.
Absolutely. So then I actually made the adjustment today when I shot it against Tim. Unfortunately, Tim made it.
Yeah, you got it first time, didn't you?
I did. I hit it with, I took the side spin off and just hit it with top.
Yeah, that's exactly what Jason said you did. Oh, this looks very good. This looks perfect. Yes, in it goes. Could just tell it came off that second rail.
So now Jason's going to lead out and bank kicks, so now he's going to probably pick something that's pretty low point value just to get some points ahead on the board.
It actually jumped there, the cue ball. Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't think he hit it with as much high as maybe people would have thought. He hit that with a lot of side spin.
Yeah. Really zipped off that second rail. So it's going to be interesting what shots he's going to play here. See Drew in the background, Andrew.
Yep, he's playing Theo Mahilis. Theo got the #1 seed, so it's the 1-8 match. This is a nice, cool looking shot.
Oh yeah, we had this earlier on. Love this.
This is all about setup and speed. The toughest part actually is where the cue sticks are. Because if you put them at the wrong angle, it'll come up short or long. The ball in the corner pocket, if you set it up right, should go. The tough part is, though, you can't roll the cue ball down the cue sticks just to kind of get an idea of the line. Once you're in a match, you got to go with it.
Yeah, it was interesting watching when you were playing this shot and you were hitting your cue ball was coming around and hitting the cues round about the joint. And Jason, he said he's going to really hit this one hard, and he does. Let's see. What happened there?
He might have not had that ball frozen because that object ball has to be frozen with the cue ball.
He's invented a new shot.
Yeah, that's a new one. Yeah, I think you put a little too much side spin on that. Basically, it's a high left hit on this.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting watching him play this because he was talking on commentary about how he was going to hit it, and he said he was going to play it with plenty of pace, and he certainly did that first one, and he has this second one as well.
That's more controlled. That's
unfortunately, yeah, he hit a bit low on the cues, didn't he? He wants to hit more towards the butt end. Is that correct?
Actually, yeah. If you want, the more time it spins on the cue sticks, the more high probability you are of making this. Yeah. So if you can hit it where the grip's at, more further down the butt, the higher percentage you're going to get of making this.
Okay, I think he's going to get it this time. Just make that slight adjustment. A little bit more English, maybe. Yes, he's got more English. Good. Hit the butt of the cue. Perfect. Oh!
Wow.
Now, had he set that 9-ball up over the other jaw, I think he might have got that, you know.
Absolutely.
Because he actually hit the jaw, didn't he?
Yep. So in the program, when it says the ball is hanging in the pocket, we actually can move it to either side, and we actually also have a ball out that you can put it in. So sometimes you can over adjust and then hit it right where you had the ball before.
Okay. So
there's been times like that jump hook shot that I played earlier, where you jump over the bridge and draw around. So there are times where I've hit it. I've landed like on a specific rail, like the short rail. So then I move the ball over to hopefully I hit it there, and then I hit it where I would have hit it before, and then draw it, and then you don't make it. So it's like, wow, I just over adjusted and then hit it where I should have.
Yeah, you almost got it. I think it was the second shot you almost made it. And then you actually hit the triangle twice, didn't you, I believe?
Yes. Yeah, so it was the third try I almost got it. So it's one of those, sometimes you can over adjust these, and that's where the frustration can come in.
Yeah, you just missed it as well. Very, very close. You actually got more draw on your third shot than you did on the other previous two.
I adjusted the angle on that so it would go out and hopefully miss the triangle, which it did. I just didn't put enough draw on it. Jamie shoots this really well. I fully expect him to make this.
No.
Oh, I think he might have cued that off a little bit.
I wonder how many people up and down the country or across the world are watching this now and have a pool table near where they are, and they're actually trying to duplicate these shots. I know I would be if I was near a table now, and I'm definitely going to try them the next time I'm in the pool room. I'm absolutely hooked on this.
Oh yeah, I've heard stories when ESPN Trick Shot Magic used to be on TV. People would see the shots and like, I'm gonna try that when I go home. And you know what? I was one of those people.
And that's what we want, isn't it? We want more people to get involved in these sports. You know, I mean, it's great to see such a young player as Theo playing. What a great player he is.
Yeah, he's 18 now, but he started when he was 14.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, a lot of pool players actually start when they're very young, like 6, 7, 8 years old, don't they? So it's just strange. Just, I don't know. I don't know much about this particular discipline, as you know, but I'm learning. And I just love the fact that there's youngsters getting involved in this as well. Yeah, how old were you, Brian, when you started?
I was 9 years old when I first started playing regular pool.
What, specifically artistic or just pool?
I started doing the trick shots in 2013, but I started playing regular pool in 91. So a little bit ago.
Yeah.
I think I've been playing regular pool now, or just pool in general, for about 31 years.
You don't want to know how long I've been playing. Oh,
32.
all right, I'll tell you. 53.
You don't look a day over
53
42.
years. See, he's changed the side he's using. He's using the same side that Jason used, and he's going to get it as well. It's perfect.
Turnover. Get it.
Get in there and look at that.
There you go. Sometimes that's an adjustment you make. Go to the other side of the table. You know, it can be different in your mind. Maybe the rails are shorter or longer going this direction. So good adjustment for Jamie.
Yeah, sometimes
that was 9-point shots. That's 7.
Sometimes you can gain a little bit of knowledge from watching your opponent's shot, can't you, to see if it's playing a little bit long or a little bit short.
Absolutely. That's why in the prelims
the
order changes.
Yes. So there's no unfair advantage.
So Jamie is picking in stroke now. So he's going to have to find a shot that he can make that he thinks Jason's going to have some trouble with. Or just get some points on the board.
I asked Jason this earlier on. What's your favourite shot to play? Brian?
I think Kevin knows the answer to this one.
I'm going to guess the window shot.
I love the window shot.
Yeah, you played it very well. We've already spoke about that. Got it first time tonight.
It just looks so cool, you know, with those 3 balls going in and that cue ball whipping through the gap and then making the ball. I mean, when I do that, when I do shows, and people just love that shot. They're like, how did you do that?
Yeah, any shot where the cue ball is swerving around or jumping, that really does entertain the crowd, doesn't it? Right, sorry, let's talk us through this Luke's stroke jump shot then.
I've only seen a couple people hit this since this came back into the program. So this is a crazy compression jump shot. So as you see, there's the rack laying on the table. So all 5 of those balls are frozen to the cue ball. All 5 of those balls have to go. That's why the rack's there to help guide them in. The cue ball will then jump over that row of balls that you see and then draw back around 2 rails and then guides in by the cue butt right there on the table.
Wow.
It's
only worth a 9.
This is a 9-point shot. I think Andrew hit this earlier on the stream when he was on bank kick and stroke. So him and only a couple people I've actually seen make this in person. This is kind of like a variation of that show-off spinner, like that resistance draw. It's very similar to that, but with a jump component.
Yeah, we saw it played last night, and we didn't realise it was somebody in the chat that said all 5 balls had to go in.
Yep.
To make the shot, because we saw it and make the ball over the side, but they didn't make all the 5 balls, and we couldn't work out why. But we won't make that mistake again.
Yep. That's why the rack's there to help guide them all in. Because it would be impossible without the rack being there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Luke's strong shot. So this is Lucas, I think you pronounce it Sowalia from Poland. He got second in our world championship in China that we had in 2017. So he's one of our international players, and he plays pretty strong too.
Yeah, Polish, very big in pool, aren't they? They've got some terrific rotation players. Always send some very strong players to these tournaments.
Yep, they're just
so will he be playing this with right hand? Oh, sorry.
That's right. No, they're just confirming the gap of the balls. Actually, you can hit this probably just straight draw, but yeah, you're probably going to put some side spin on it to help it come around 2 rails. And the fact that Jamie's hitting this open hand is just crazy. He hits stuff open hand that I'm like, I would never even try to hit open hand.
You're talking about the bridge here, right?
Yep.
Wow.
We got it over the blocker balls. Anyway.
He's trying to hit. He's trying to get the cue ball over where that chalk is, right? Somewhere over that
That's
side.
about where you want to hit it. Yep.
Yeah. I thought that looked about the right angle, and then spin it round off the 2 rails.
See what he does here. Make an adjustment.
Well, he's not making that rail, is he? He's almost. Does he have to play it? Does he have to make it off 2 rails?
Yeah,
can it go off just 1?
rails. So yeah, where that chalk was at on the long rail, like you said, that's about where you want to hit it at. So he's got to draw back around 2, about that area, and then come around 2 rails, hit the cue butt. That's where we cannot see, and then it's going to make the 1 ball on the side.
Okay. Oh, yes, I couldn't see the butt of the cue on the table.
There you go. The graphic shows it pretty good.
Yes, there you go.
So far he's made 4 balls and then 3 balls. So got to somehow try to get all 5 to go in there, and then get it over the blocker balls, and then snap back. So this is a tough shot.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here, isn't there?
There you go. That's a good view of it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is a much better view. Psyching himself up.
Here you go, Jamie.
Yeah, he's just raising the butt slightly, look, see, just to get that little bit more draw.
Yep. And he got all 5 balls on that one.
But it doesn't count, unfortunately.
Yep. He's got to come back around. So multiple aspects of this shot. Really tough.
It is. There's so much you've got to get right. Making the 5 balls, jumping over the blockers, getting the cue ball to strike the rail where you need to on the long rail. It's, yeah, as you say, there's a lot going on. Here we go again. Look, got the ball over. Made all 5 balls. Didn't get the cue ball right.
That's why practicing this stuff can be frustrating and very time consuming, because you get one aspect of the shot, but then you got to get all the other ones. It would not be out of the realm of possibility to spend an hour and a half to 2 hours on a shot and never make it once.
Would you ever concentrate on getting one part of the shot right, practicing that for a certain period, and then another aspect, and then another aspect, and then try and put them all together? Or would you always practice the complete shot?
Good question, actually. I'll start with the main shot and then see where I miss it at, and then just try to isolate that part of it.
Right. So let's see
if you're just isolating part of it, you don't have to set it all up.
Yeah, good point. Wow. Yeah, they rushed that, really rushed it.
And that, to be honest with you, that's a really good pick by Jamie, though, because if you can find a shot that you know most people aren't hitting, and you can at least get it every once in a while, then you're almost guaranteeing your opponent to get 0 points. And then if that off chance that you get it, you're going to get those points, and they aren't.
Yeah, there's a lot of strategy involved in this as well, isn't there? It's not just making the shots, as you say, it's picking the ones that you think your opponent might not make, and you've got that slight chance. Yeah, good point.
Absolutely. And then, and in the case of where Jason's at, when you get a lead like that, you just want to make balls, make points, because then the other person's chasing you the entire time.
So second attempt, got nowhere near the first time. How's he going here? He's open bridge again, didn't get over them, struggling here.
Yeah, even with people attempting the shot, most people aren't even getting it to pop over. So the fact that Jamie got the ball to get over the blocker balls, that's an accomplishment even of itself.
Yeah.
I know you're in Thailand right now, Mark, so where are you headed next?
I'm actually I'm flying to the UK on the 3rd of August. I've just been invited to commentate on a 3-cushion event that's happening in Arizona on the 7th to the 10th. I'll be commentating that remotely, obviously. And then on the 13th, I fly to Calgary in Canada for the Canadian Open.
Cool.
The Predator Canadian Open.
See what Jason could do on his third try here.
Well,
That
got a
sounded like a
little bit of
miscue.
was it?
Like a miscue. Now Jason is
and then
leading out.
Sorry, mate.
That's all right. You go ahead. Now Jason leads out in jump now, so he's going to pick an easy jump shot that he knows he can make.
Yeah, I'm actually going to meet up with, talking with Jason earlier. I'm going to meet him in Michigan. He's actually going to be playing in the US Pro Billiard Series there in Battle Creek at the Kellogg Arena in his home state, home city. So I'm going to meet up and hopefully we're going to get him to do a little exhibition in between matches on the stream and get some more people involved in this.
That would be cool. I will actually be at the Ohio event if you're going to be there.
I will be there as well. That's in October. So I'll see you there.
Absolutely.
In
we'll have to go get
Wilmington,
a drink.
I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
is it
that's
Wilmington?
my hometown. That's where I grew up at, actually.
Wow.
This is a nice shot that's
been
around for absolutely. This is a nice shot that's been around for quite some time. You actually pop the cue ball off the object ball over the blocker balls and make the 9.
Just like that. Yeah, I remember this shot from yesterday as well. They were actually, some of them were making the 1 ball in the side pocket as well. And I said, oh, maybe we should add that in as an extra difficulty.
Actually, I think that was a draw shot that they were doing. They're the ball that you compress and get out of the way was going one rail on the side, but they weren't getting the draw shot to go.
Yeah, I think we saw it on this as well, Kevin. Is Kevin there?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we saw it go on this one as well. I believe it was
on this shot. Yeah, they were banking that one straight across.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch that part of it.
Yeah, it was double kissing and going into this right-hand side pocket. Oh, he's not getting...
That make it more than a 7-pointer
at the moment. Yeah.
All right, last try.
Goes the 1 ball. There goes the 1 ball.
There you go. It's just like you called it.
Yeah, they made that a few times last night, actually. Unfortunately, he didn't make the correct ball, which was the 9.
This is one of those little tricky shots, that you got to kind of figure out how it works. The key with this one is trying to figure out how hard to stroke on this, because if you stroke it too hard, it will jump too far. It may not jump at all. If you don't hit it enough, it doesn't get over the blocker. So you just got to find that sweet spot that's right there.
Yeah, that hit that slightly too hard. That last one almost lost the cue ball off the table, didn't he? Just caught the top of the rail. Let's see how... Oh, that's better. Same shot then for Jamie.
Yep. So then he's going to have to try to duplicate that. If he can get some points on this, it'll help him get closer in the match. The fact that Jason zeroed out on this. Jason went to go. I think Jamie went to go get a different cue to shoot with.
I thought he did. Yeah, what's that he's got there?
It's a diamond wood jump cue. I think he just punched it on this one. He's got to get more of a snap on it.
Yeah, we got a good view of his backhand here as well, Brian. What's going on with the backhand here? Is he gripping tight? Is it loose? Is it a loose grip?
It looks pretty loose on it. Get it.
Oh.
Wow.
Disturbed the other balls though, didn't he?
On the way over, he didn't. I believe the object ball did that.
Okay. So that's okay, right?
Yeah, but as far as the shot, the cue ball can't disrupt the blocker balls, but the object ball that you're bouncing off of, that can touch them. Change his line. Hopefully he gets it.
Unfortunately, it's no points, as we see Theo getting up on the stall on the other table. There's the stall that we were talking about earlier on, Brian, that they used to, what do they call it? A step
Raise the floor.
Raise the floor
is actually what the terminology is. So if you're someone that's a little shorter, they can't get your leg up there, you're allowed to do that. So right now, Jamie's going to lead out in the Masse discipline. So now he's going to have to try to find a shot that he can make that's going to give Jason a little trouble.
We get the chance to watch Theo jump the cue ball out of the rack here, past the second diamond, and hopefully Masse it back. Didn't get out of the triangle though.
Yeah, that's actually Andrew in the background shooting that.
Oh, was it Andrew, was it?
Yep. So here's a cool little shot for all of you pool players that like pool movies. This is the Color of Money Masse shot. This is the shot that Tom Cruise shot in the movie, to where you shoot the object ball into the corner pocket and the cue ball arcs around that blocker ball. So I think this was a 1-9 combination in the Color of Money, if I remember correctly.
Ah. Yeah, and apparently Tom Cruise done most of his own stunts in that, as he normally does.
Yeah,
actually learned to play pool.
Yep, there's actually a video called Amazing Trick Shots that got me into this. It was Steve Mizrak, Ava Mataya, and Jimmy Mataya, and she says that she actually showed Tom Cruise this shot.
Oh, wow.
If I remember correctly. Oh, look at this.
Oh, he got it. Oh,
wow.
One hangs up. How did that not go in? Shouldn't be allowed.
Man, he
Look
hit
at
that
the
great
spin on that. If anything, slightly too much spin.
Yep. So here's the interesting adjustment. Do you hit it the exact same and then just move the 9 ball to the left of the pocket, or do you try to take a little bit of spin off and keep the 9 where it's at? That's how you try to adjust in something like this.
Would you like to play it the same?
If it was me, I would hit it the exact same and then move the object ball a little bit to the left of the pocket. But then knowing my luck, I'd hit it good and then hit it to the other side and jostle it again. All right, so it looks like he's going to keep it the way it is. So come on, Jamie, hit this. This is a pretty shot.
Oh, this time the 10 didn't go.
Wow.
I want to see a Tom Cruise celebration if he gets this.
This is what I say that people do who do artistic pool and do this trick shot stuff. We are a different breed because we stick around after stuff like this.
Yeah, something that doesn't really happen in other disciplines. But you are really, I mean, the pool family is a big family. But what I've noticed is the artistic pool family is a much closer knit group within that global family.
I'd agree with that. There's not a lot of us who do this, so we pretty much know everybody. All right, Jamie, here we go.
He's got it. Yes! He's got it.
Nice shot, Jamie.
He deserved that.
Absolutely. Ironically, that's the line from the Steve Mizrak character. I deserve that. Look at that shot.
Wow. Oh, really? Is that what he said? I deserve that.
Yep. I think that was in the when he's playing Fast Eddie, and he breaks or whatever. He looks in the camera. He says, "I deserve that."
He says, "I didn't deserve that."
When he loses,
I didn't deserve that. And then Eddie says, "Yes, you did."
That's my favorite pool movie, by the way, is Color of Money.
All right, that was his third try, right?
Yep. So that would
5
be
points.
Yep. This is a nice touch shot. So sometimes, if you got a big stroke, you got to really try to dial it in. All right, since we're getting close to a wild card round, there was a question in the chat that was wondering, do they pick 4 or 2 shots in the wild card? And they pick 4, well, up to 4. This will finish off our discipline round, as I've called it. So we've gone through all 8 disciplines. They've each led out in 4 of them. So now after this attempt or after this shot, each player has up to 4 shots that they can pick from anywhere in the program.
Not really much action going on.
So Jason's going to have to make an adjustment here.
He seemed to have quite a levelish cue there. Can he make the adjustment of going a bit more steep, a bit more vertical on the shot? Or is that not the way to play this particular shot?
Actually, going more vertical would help get that arc, like how Jamie did. So see what Jason does here with this.
He just seemed a little bit flat on his first 2 attempts. Oh, that's not a foul, though, I've learned.
Exactly, yeah. That does not count as a foul. You actually have to make an attempt at the shot.
Like an air shot at golf.
Yep. All right, here we go. Third try.
Oh, it was close up.
That was a very good pick by Jamie. Very good pick. All right, so now we go to the wild card round. This is where they can pick from anywhere, and Jason leads in this. So he gets to pick from anywhere and try to keep his lead. It's funny you mentioned 3 cushion, Mark, because a lot of us play 3 cushion. A lot of us play that, and we enjoy it. It's just we're not as good as somebody like Amazing Shuni or anything.
Yeah, I got into that when I had to quarantine in Mexico on my way to the States last September. And we just see the last attempt there. Look, got quite close to it. Yeah, and I was lucky enough to meet up with Javier Gomez, who looked after me very, very well when I was there. And we went to this great carom and pool place called Billar Felinos, and played some 3 cushion with some fantastic old boys, the old guys that have been playing for like 100 years or something, and They know every shot. And I was lucky to get some lessons from them, and Javier was teaching me as well. Had a fantastic time. 2 weeks I was there. Huge game. And I've really grown to like 3 cushion. I don't know whether you've ever played English billiards at all, have you?
Not yet. I haven't had the opportunity to.
I introduced Ira Lee to that in Carom Cafe in New York last year, and he was hooked, and people were watching it being played on the stream. It was being streamed live, a 24-hour camera or whatever it is in Carom Cafe, and people were actually coming down to see the game played because it was so fascinating to them. They'd never seen it before, which I couldn't believe.
Nice. This is a cool little trick and fancy shot called Tim's Twister, which Tim Chin invented this. So the 1 and the 2 go in the corners, and then the cue ball arcs around 3 rails to make the 9 ball. It's a cool little shot when it goes. I like this shot. Jason is holding off, waiting until Theo finishes his attempt so he doesn't get in the way.
Yeah, I love the shot he's playing as well at the moment. And he made it.
Yeah, didn't even need the cue. Every once in a while you hit it good enough to where you don't need the cue to guide the cue ball in.
Yeah.
All right, first attempt here. It looks good.
How's that?
Nicely done.
Cleared the table.
Very good shot. He's been working on that a lot.
Yeah, that was perfect, wasn't it? Lots of right-hand English, swinging the cue ball round. And there's a little bonus, the cue ball as well. Surely worth an extra point.
That would be nice if we got extra points on scratches. I would love that.
So would I at rotation. I'd be.
All right, so here's Jamie's attempt at this.
You can see him aiming high right. Wow. Got himself in a bit of a tiz there. Didn't make anything. So just maybe a little bit more attention to the setting up. Brian, is it here? Or is it just the way he hit it?
The setup in this is actually, it's set. There's no way to make an adjustment. So the cue ball and the object ball that's frozen to the rail, they split the diamond, and then the other ball is just frozen to them. It's just finding an aim point to where they go.
Right.
Oh, look at this. Come on.
This is better. This is better.
Nice shot. Good adjustment.
Yeah, second time. She's creeping up.
Got this on his second try. So now this is Jamie's first wild card pick. So he gets to pick from anywhere and see what he does.
So now he'll be thinking, right, what am I better at than Jason?
Yep, or find a shot that he can make that he thinks Jason may not, because he's got to gain some ground here.
Look at that, following the cue ball. Makes the 9. You can actually learn from watching this. You know, there's a few shots actually that come up in rotation pool as well occasionally.
Oh, absolutely. I get asked all the time when I do trick shot stuff is, when does that ever come up in a game? And I had an example of that. I was playing 8-ball in the league, and I had the cue ball towards the center of the table. 8-ball was hanging in the pocket, but there were blocker balls. I couldn't get out to jump it, so I jumped it one-handed and made the 8-ball.
Wow.
So the stuff comes up every once in a while. All right. Jamie is picking a 10-point draw shot down the alley that a lot of us shoot. He shoots this very, very well.
Yeah, I love this shot. This is the one with draw and right-hand English, isn't it? Draw all the way back, spin the cue ball over to the butt of the cue, roll along, and make the combo into the side.
Yep, so you hit the combo, come off that long rail, and then spin all the way back. And some people do a variation of this shot. As you saw in the diagram, the combo is in that 1x1 diamond square, so you can have it anywhere in that square. There you go. So Jamie sets it up to where the combo is frozen to the rail, and this is actually how I shoot the shot as well.
Does that help the draw, do you think?
I find that it actually helps, that with it's right at the rail, that it just fires back. I used to shoot this with the combo a hair off the rail and still could make it, but when I started doing it the way Jamie does, and actually Abram actually does it this way as well, I just found it was just easier to do. But as long as you find a way to make the shot that, you know, is legal, and then you're making it consistently, that's how you figure out how to get high scores, is just figuring out a way to make this consistently.
Yeah, because you can actually use the long rail, can't you, to get that spin?
Yeah, you actually have to use the long rail to make the shot.
Oh, you do have to use it. Okay,
absolutely. Right. Hitting this dead on and then drawing all the way back with side spin. I mean, that would be a feat.
Yeah, I want to see you do that one day. Come on, let's make it more difficult. And 4-inch pockets, please.
Ironically, you say that. So the table I practice on at my home pool room has 4-inch pockets on it.
Wow.
So that's the reason why I got so good through reverse wing shots, because my practice table is 4-inch pockets.
I guess it makes that 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1 shot harder as well.
Makes everything harder. I don't practice. Right? Yeah. I don't practice trick and fancy on that table.
No.
All right, Jamie, knock this in. I expect him to get this on the first try. He hits this really well. There it goes. Spin.
Yeah, no problem.
Ooh, that just barely missed.
He just caught that cue, didn't he?
He got it, and he just missed that last blocker ball. Wow.
Yeah, very close to it.
He hit that so good.
Oh, he's coming alive.
Yep.
Just shows you, doesn't it, how it can turn.
Oh, absolutely.
And
I remember
it all stems back to that jump shot, doesn't it, where he was trying to make the 5 balls and the jump.
Yep.
Look at that, just caught the edge of that cue, just missed the blocker. And it goes. Terrific shot.
Yep.
So a little bit of pressure now, Brian, on Jason.
Absolutely, because if all of us can make these shots and miss these shots, so if for some odd reason Jason hits this and misses, now we got a ball game. But the pressure's on him to make this and to keep going, to keep that lead going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the tournament you're going to, the 3-cushion one out in Arizona, Mason Shuney, if I remember correctly, puts those on, does a couple every year. They're very well run. I know Dr. Q always comes in and does stuff there, so it's a great shot.
What's he asking here, Brian?
Yeah, so what's happening is, I mean, technically the setup was incorrect, but we're not going to take the points away from that. The blocker ball, the farthest one, it's in a equal line from the side pocket. It's just the blocker ball was a little further up. But the intent of the shot was still there, and that's the key. As long as the intent of the shot is there, you're okay. But he was just reminding him for further setup, that blocker ball has to be exactly across from the pocket.
Right.
All right. Jason hits is good too, so I also expect him to make this. But he also goes out a little further, as you see where he set up versus where Jamie was.
Yeah, look, he's playing it quite close to the rail here. He's got it. He's got it. He's got it. He's got it. No, he hasn't.
I hit the blocker balls.
Yeah.
Everybody has a way of hitting this. So like Jamie, Abram, and I kind of shoot it very similar. Jason goes out and puts a little more of an elevation on it, but that's what he's comfortable doing.
Yeah, sometimes it comes down to, well, most of the time it comes down to personal preference, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You got to go with what works for you.
Really close. He's very close to the rail here, I thought.
Yep. Because he likes to bridge off and get that angle.
Yeah. How's he hit that one this time?
Hit that great. And rocketed back.
So extends his lead a little bit more.
But that was a 10-point shot, so he got it on the second try. So now we're on the second wild card pick. Jason picks his second wild card shot here. Still got that 15-point lead.
So do you know all these shots off by heart, or do you go and consult the book and think, right,
we all know them. We don't know a lot of them by heart, but we still want to look at the book because a lot of us have notes, like here, where to set this up, where to hit it at, what spin. So I am always looking at the book.
I noticed you. I mentioned it actually. That you had the book on the table with you. I forget which particular shot it was, but I remember that you had your Bible, I called it.
Yep.
Out on the table.
I have jokingly called that the trick shot Bible before. But yeah, just to confirm where my setup was and so forth. So it would not be out of the realm of possibility to see people do that. Jason's right there off camera at the table, just flipping through the pages, trying to find what shot he wants to pick.
Have you, or do you ever use a shot clock in any tournament of artistic pool, or does that just never come into it?
It's more of like an unwritten rule to where, you have about, a minute or so, minute and a half, give or take, to get a shot set up.
Right.
At this point in this part of the match, Jason just wants to make sure he picks the right shot so he stays ahead, so he doesn't zero out on anything and allowing Jamie to get back in.
Do you know, one of the things that annoys me in rotation pool is the amount of time sometimes it takes players to set the balls up, to actually rack the balls, and they keep checking them, unracking them, racking them up again, fingering them to get them tight. And sometimes, it can take 2 minutes or something like that. And it really is, I often think to myself, I wish they'd bring in a shot clock for actually racking the balls as well,
Absolutely. And that's why I like how Matchroom has a neutral racker, has the referee, rack them. This is an older shot. This is a really cool shot. And this, technically, something like this could come up in an actual game of pool. So what's going to happen is he's going to freeze the cue ball to the rail and to an object ball. You actually shoot into the rail with a lot of inside English, compress the rail, and come around 3 rails.
Nice. And it looks pretty good to me. Just grazes it first time.
Absolutely. Nice shot.
You would think maybe that has clinched the win for him.
We still got a couple more shots to go. So let me see where we at here. That was his second wild card. So after this attempt is done, we have 5 shots to go total.
Oh, still that many. Okay.
Yep. That potentially. Yep.
There you go. Just grazing the 8 ball. In it goes.
Here's Jamie's attempt at it. He really needs this to keep pace. Come on, spin.
And this looks pretty good as well. Oh, not enough spin maybe.
Wow.
Just need a little bit more right hand English.
Second attempt, make his adjustment. Here we go.
Just a little bit more
that
spin.
Looks a little better.
This looks better. This looks better.
Nice
looks
shot.
Perfect.
Nicely done. He made a good adjustment.
Yeah, just played it with that touch more inside English, didn't he? Didn't even need the last rail to make this. Just watch the spin on this cue ball. Lots of right hand. Hits the second rail and then really widens. Still spinning.
The tough part about that shot is you can't disturb the blocker ball. So
if your cue hit the blocker ball, it's a no shot. So back to the book.
Yeah, this is a shot I know Jamie hits a lot, and it's really cool. It's discipline 1, 3B. This is the old just showing off shot from the Miller Lite beer commercial that Steve Miserak shot.
Right, I've seen this. Yeah, I actually watched this the other day. This advert.
Yeah, this is the last
with the beer
shot
on the table. Yeah.
Yep, yeah. This is the last shot with the beer on the commercial. So it's 2 trick shots before this one, and so it's 3, but it's 1 take. So they didn't edit this at all. So I actually know Steve's son. I met him at the Super Billiards Expo, and his dad took like 220 takes on the commercial.
Really?
Because, like I said, it's 1 take, so it's a trick shot, and then the cue ball floats into position, shoot another trick shot, floats into position for this.
Yeah, I think the only reason he did that was because he got to drink a beer every time he missed it. They had to get a fresh glass. I'd do the same.
I tried that one time, like the continuous setup, and it took me 2 hours on my home table to do that.
Wow.
But this is my second favorite trick shot, actually. It just looks so cool, and there's a lot going on. Here we go. Oh, we just missed the one that went there, and then it came a little short. Wow. The problem is with missing a shot like this, you got to set it all back up again.
Yeah, this is where you like to be live at the arena, and everyone, they're telling a joke in between while they're setting them up. That's what I love about these artistic pool shows. You normally get the funny little bits in between, especially with Tom Rossman.
I was thinking the exact same
thing.
thing.
Learning these jokes. Yeah.
Tom is a master entertainer, and I have stolen, borrowed, stolen
Yeah, me too.
a number of his stuff when I do my shows too. I'll miss on purpose on certain shots just so I can tell a funny joke.
Yeah. I've often remarked how close, what the likeness is between you and Dennis Taylor, the snooker player. Dennis is very famous for doing his trick shots at the snooker events, but he's also very, very famous for telling some great jokes in between as well. And you remind me a lot of Dennis Taylor, actually. You've got the glasses and the fancy waistcoat and always smiling. So attempt number 2 then.
Number 2, this is now worth 7 points.
I like this angle to look at it. I don't know where to look.
That looks good. Come on.
Oh, he's got it. He's got it. Yes.
Even when you're just showing off.
Yeah. Take a beer. Take a bow.
That's such a cool looking shot.
Yeah, slow motion, even better. Look at this. Oh, the cue ball going so close to the 6 there. And then here's the lovely part. And the fist pump.
Yep. Normally when people make that, the cue ball does pass in front of that ball that goes to the pocket. But there have been people that make it without the cue ball going in front. But most of the time, it will travel in front of that ball.
Okay.
Which is another heart attack you got to worry about to get that through there.
I actually felt nervous as I saw them coming together, those balls. I thought, oh, no.
Yeah, this shot's been around for a long time. This is like one of the first trick shots, like one of the first really big trick shots people learn. All right, here's Jason's attempt. Try to keep his lead on Jamie.
Playing this with lots of left hand. Oh, he just caught that ball, did he?
He did.
Yeah.
This is actually a lot of high left because you got to try to beat that ball to the pocket and come around. But also depending on the table and the table conditions, if it's going short or long, will depend on how much high and how much left you put on this.
How long does it take you to read a table, Brian?
I wouldn't necessarily say time. It's just you come up with a couple shots, like a couple 3 rails, and say, okay, that's a little short, that's a little long. You're talking about practicing like different parts of a shot. This would be a perfect example to explain that. So you see there's the 2 balls by the rail, and then there's a cluster of 3. So you can practice this. Don't even put the cluster of 3 there. Just get the 2 to where you know the ball will bank cross-side, and then to get the 3 railer on the other ball. Because then you're just wasting time setting up the other 3. If you can just get that part to where you get the ball to cross bank into the side and then come around 3 rails. Okay, now I know I have that zoned in. Now I can put the 3 balls in because that's basically just a setup. If I set it up right, it should go.
Interesting. So the important one here is the 1 and the 2 for the cross bank, yes?
The cross bank, and then that will give it the correct path for the cue ball to come around 3 rails.
Gotcha.
See if he makes his adjustment here.
No, exactly the same replica of the first one.
Yep. So he didn't get the cross bank, and then the cue ball hit the third ball coming down again. So it looks like he's either hitting too much side or not enough high.
I've mentioned I'm relatively new to this particular discipline, and I'm learning so much from you guys, you experts in the booth, and it really is fascinating to hear these little nuggets of information. And hopefully in the chat we've got a few new people watching it for the first or second time and learning some stuff as well. And even, you know, the better players may be looking to go to the next level of learning.
Jason's last attempt. See if this goes now.
He's got it. Oh, he's missed the cross bank. Oh, and he's missed the carom as well.
That is a good pick by Jamie. And now he's tightened the gap. He's only 9 points down, and there's only 4 shots left. So they each have 2 wild card picks. It's now Jason's pick. He's got to think, okay, I need to make something to keep my lead.
How well do you actually know? I don't mean personally know them. I mean how well do you actually know your opponent's game to you know, to make that judgment on what shot to choose?
We really know each other really well because it's usually the same group of people playing, and you just know, okay, I know you shoot that well. Well, I don't think you shoot that well, so I'm gonna play that. So we really know each other's game pretty well.
The only thing I can think of as a, you know, as a similar kind of situation in a rotation game would be maybe, you know, if you're playing against Fedor Gorst, you wouldn't push out to a jump, for example, because Fedor Gorst is well known for being an absolutely brilliant jumper. Jesus Asensio as well is another one. So that's a kind of thing, you know, playing against your opponent's weaknesses, I guess, or strengths.
That is a very good analogy, actually. Yes, if you know someone like a Fedor jumps really, really well, you don't want to push out to a jump shot because, you know, you're almost giving the table back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Question to Mark: did you ever train? No. Before he was after my time, actually. He's younger than me. I was actually in the snooker coaching business before I got into pool. But believe it or not, I didn't actually get into pool until about 2016, I guess. I made the switch from snooker. I've never actually, well, I've been in the same room as Niels Fine, but I've never actually played against him or had any kind of coaching from him or indeed coached him. I can teach technique, but I couldn't teach a pool player strategy or anything like that, shot selection. That's not that's not my remit to do that.
Niels is a very nice guy. I've got a chance to talk with him a couple times at Derby City. Very nice guy.
Yeah, he's one of these, you know, I call them the class. He's the same as Ralph Souquet, Torsten Holman, you know, from that era. All super nice guys, been around forever, won everything, absolute class acts, all of them.
As soon as you said class, I was thinking Ralph Souquet. And you said Ralph Souquet.
Yeah, you know, Ralph Souquet, I mean, still going strong. Neil's still doing great as well. And Torsten, you know, they're all still playing it, all still loving it. And all super nice guys as well.
I think I got the wrong shot set up.
What is he doing?
Oh, is this where he's going round the jump draw?
Here we go. I seen this one. Now this is a nice little stroke shot.
Avoid the Noid.
So how this works is you shoot a ball into the pocket, and then that blocker ball is anywhere in that little diagram, but then the cue ball has to go around that blocker ball 3 rails and then make the ball in the pocket.
Oh, nice. Nice. I want to know how Tim does curved lines on a computer. I can do a straight one. I can't do a curved one.
Because Tim is a genius at graphics.
Absolutely. Oh, didn't get around it. So needs to make an adjustment there.
Yeah. This one's all about setup and angle. You got to be able to make the ball, be able to have the angle to come around that blocker ball.
Yeah, it looked like he was a little bit straight on the one ball before to get round the other side of it. Needs to come to the right of the 2, correct?
Yep. So as we're looking at the cue ball, the one ball goes to the right of the 2, the cue ball goes to the left of the 2.
Yeah.
That
like
looks
that.
good.
And this looks pretty good. He likes it. He likes it. I like it. Great
Nice shot.
Second attempt. So just as you think Jamie's getting close, he pulls away again. Second time, look at the jump on that. Lots of left-hand spin. Catches that rail absolutely perfectly and hits the 9 full on. Doesn't even need a rail. Brilliant.
That's when you know you hit it good, when you don't use the rail.
Yeah. Sherry Ross there, Kevin's better half, doing a great job on the camera there.
We will make sure to let her know that.
No, she's going to want to raise then. She's going to want double the pay she's currently getting.
She is, because she needs to give me a tip for saying that. Wow. Yeah, that wasn't a nice stroke, that was it? It was a bit of a little bit of a hit. Sort of followed the same path of the...
I saw Jamie practicing this earlier, so when I saw Jason pick this, I'm like, ooh, Jamie hits this, so we'll see what happens.
Second attempt. Jason made it on the second attempt. That's better. That's much better, but didn't get enough English on it.
Yeah, he wants to try to get a little deeper towards the pocket. Almost kind of like a tiki in 3 cushion.
The tiki, yes. My favourite shot, or one of my favourites, is umbrella shot on the 3 cushion.
Jamie's last try here.
I'm not a betting man, but I would bet he makes it here. I think he needs to get a little bit more English on this, more left hand.
There you go.
Oh, that's all gone wrong. A little bit of frustration there.
So it'll be Jamie's 3rd wild card pick coming up, but to let you know, we have a final coming in. Theo Mihilis did defeat Andrew Sojo in the quarterfinals. So that means our first semifinal match will be Theo Mihilis and Tim Chin tomorrow morning at noon Eastern time.
Looking forward to that.
That's going to be a match.
I've actually been conditioning myself, Brian, for this stream for the last 2 weeks. I've flipped my sleep pattern on its head, because I'm 11 hours difference. I'm 11 hours ahead of you. So I've actually been sleeping very late during the day so that I can be awake at night. So I'm fresh around about 11 o'clock PM my time. Oh, this shot I love. This is the jumping out of the rack.
And we appreciate you altering your sleep, Mark, to help us out.
Absolutely.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure. I wouldn't want to have missed this because it really is. I mean, I knew I would like it because it involves a table and balls and cues, right?
Right.
But I didn't think I would get this into it and this hooked. It's the first time I've ever watched a whole tournament and seen all the different disciplines and all the different, the different tricks and categories and all that. So it's fantastic. I'm loving it. Here we go. One-handed.
One-handed out of the rack. He hits this really good, so I expect him to make this. Ooh. I think that was what's that called? Commentator's curse?
That was 100% commentator's curse there. Without a doubt. That was a textbook example.
All right. Somebody had asked the trick shot that I find the most challenging. For me, it probably would be the circular draw. It's what a lot of people think is the most challenging shot, is because there's just so much involved in it and the stroke you have to put on to make that shot. It's definitely one of those things. We have a little phrase that you finally arrived once you've hit that.
That's the holy grail of trick shots, is it?
Yeah, it's once you've hit the circular draw, it's like, all right, I've done something now.
I've arrived.
You're a real trick shot player then.
No. I mean, Mike Masse still hits that shot like a hanger.
Well, he's been doing it for 100 years. He's got the hang of it by now.
Exactly. All right, come on, Jamie. Get this, buddy.
All
right, so wow. Jamie is 15 down with 2 shots to go, so he's not mathematically eliminated yet. But we each have, I believe, 1 pick left. I think they both have 1 pick left.
Going back to Mike Masse. Sorry.
That's right. Jason has an attempt at this. So we have 2 shots left. If he makes this on any attempt, the match is over, because he'll be over 20 points ahead with only 2 points left. 2 shots left, and there's only 10-point shots. So if he makes this on any attempt, I believe the match is over.
Yeah, Mike Masse, not only a great trick shot guy, he writes a great song and sings a great song, plays the guitar as well. Fabulous entertainer all round. Oh, first one.
Yeah, this shot is so nerve-wracking, because it's one thing to knock 1 ball out, then you got to do it 6 times.
Is that the maximum that can be attempted? Is there any more room in that rack to get any more balls in, or not? Is there a record?
Well, I'd like to see you try it with 15 balls in there.
Yeah, he clipped the rack with that 1 ball. Gregory, if you wanted a video of the circular draw, if I were you, I would go to YouTube and look up Mike Masse circular draw. He hits it in a suit, and he hits it like a hanger.
Wow, look at this. Look at this. Oh! That one swerved in midair, so got a little bit of unwanted English on it.
But here you can see him. You see him hitting the rack with the 1 ball right here.
Oh yes.
Just clips it.
Yeah.
Amazing camera work. I think she deserves 3 times the raise.
Hey now, are you her agent now or something? You getting 10%?
15. What are you talking about?
With the percentages she's having to give away, she's going to be ending up with nothing.
All right, so here's the situation. As long as Jason picks an easy shot or a 6-pointer and makes it, it's over. Because Jamie won't be able to get back. So this is Jason's final wild card.
And it's Jason's pick? So what's he going to choose? What's he chosen?
Right. So this is a 6-point shot. This is basically just a timing shot. Shoot the first object ball, stop the cue ball, and then make the combination kiss shot before the first object ball you hit goes in the pocket.
Ah, got you. Okay, yeah.
And the combination kiss shot, that's wired. So if you put a ball on the spot and then freeze a ball behind it like this setup is, if you hit that head ball head on, they'll split in both pockets every single time.
Yeah, we've got a similar shot we play on a snooker table. It's called the disappearing shot, where you make all three balls, and it's basically wired. Steve Lillis. Hi, Steve. Thanks for the lovely comment, mate. Really enjoying this. Oh, what was that? It's wired.
Wow. That can happen.
Brian,
if you do not line that ball up straight, that can happen.
Brian, commentators curse Paulie in the booth.
Yeah, that might as well be me. Maybe I should just not say anything about that.
If it means anything, I don't believe in any of that.
Yeah, I really don't either. It's just, I think it's just more, luck or whatever that when you say something, it happens.
If I had that kind of influence over anyone, I'd be picking lottery numbers.
There you go.
Wow. Needs to make it this time. It will be over if he can make it this time, as Brian pointed out.
I think what he did is he wanted to hit that first ball a little firmer so it wouldn't roll out, and then he got his timing off and just fired. But you're right. If he makes it on this attempt, the match is over. But if he misses, then Jamie has a try to get back in this. Jason's like, well, I've never missed this. All right, here we go. In a sense, for the match.
The Michigan Kid.
Biggest time on that one.
Here it goes. Here it goes. Oh
my goodness. And Jamie jumped out of his chair. It's like, I'm going to the table right now.
Wow.
So here's the predicament we're in. He is down by 15 points. If he makes this on the first try, he'll be down by 9. So he's going to have to come back and hit a 9 or a 10-pointer on the first try in hopes that Jason won't be able to hit it. But he has to get this first, and preferably on the first try.
Yeah, he'll be paying plenty of attention to get that plant, that combo set. So, isn't it incredible how things can change?
Absolutely. I played in a semifinal match last year with Abram, and very similar. I fought back within the last couple of shots, and just every once in a while something goofy can happen.
Theoretically, he makes his choice on the next shot, first time, and then Jason misses, and all of a sudden, Jamie is through.
Yep,
unbelievable drama. And in it goes. Oh, he's missed the 3 ball though.
Wow.
The combo didn't go. The combo was a no-go.
So one of the questions in the chat by Gregory was, how accurate do you need to be on the setup on the shots? I think you're saying exactly how accurate you have to be, because sometimes if you don't set it up right, if you don't hit it right, it won't go.
What are they talking about?
He's talking about like point value, like as far as if he misses this or if he makes it. So he's down 15. If he makes this, he'll be down 10. But he has to make it on this attempt. If he misses it on this attempt, he's done.
Okay.
Because then it would be worth 4 on his last try, and then he would be down by 11, and there's no 11-point shot.
Caitlin getting excited in the chat. Come on, Jamie. Come on, Jamie. Come on, Jamie. She wants to see more action.
Yep. Because then if he makes this, he has to hit a 10-pointer on the first try, and Jason would have to miss it, and then we go to a sudden death playoff.
And don't forget, guys, we're back tomorrow, midday, Eastern Standard Time, semi-finals and final. Who's going to be in it? Is it going to be Jamie? Here we go. He's made it. He's still alive. And now, weirdly enough, there's a bit of pressure now gone over to Jason. There you see, perfect execution.
All right, so that was 5 points. It is, so now Jamie's down by 10, so he has to pick a 10-point shot and make it on the first try. If he doesn't make it on the first try, it doesn't matter. So he has to make it on the first try, and then Jason has to miss it.
All 3 times, right?
All 3 times, and then if that happens, we go to a sudden death playoff.
And we're going to see Sherry come out and choose a ball, are we? Is that how it's done?
No, actually how it works. So in the wild card round, they've each picked 4 shots, right? Then they've picked different disciplines. There are 4 remaining disciplines that they did not pick from. You start picking from those 4 that you haven't picked from.
And because whoever won the lag, they keep the same.
It's still the same order, yes.
Okay, right.
And actually, we have never had a playoff sudden death before.
Well, let's have a first. I'm all for it. I don't have anywhere to be.
I haven't. I'm already laying on my bed.
I figured you're probably already in bed, commentating from bed, probably. If we hear you start snoring, we'll just mute your microphone. We're good.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. There's no chance of me falling asleep at this juncture of this match. This is brilliant fun.
Well, the last 3 disciplines we had, tiebreakers. So why not? This apparently is the tiebreaker event. So let's have a playoff match tiebreaker.
I'm all for it. Let's do it.
This is for those people in the chat that maybe aren't familiar with this. That would be the equivalent of a hill match.
Right.
Jamie is taking his time making. This is like the shot of the tournament for him.
Yep.
What shot would you be choosing now if you were Jamie?
Well, if he was Jamie or if he was himself, because they have different strengths for different shots.
Yeah, I mean, if Brian was now in this situation, what shot would he be choosing for his strengths? And what would Jamie's weakness be here? What are you thinking? What's going through your mind right now?
If I'm Jamie, I'm not picking a stroke shot against Jason. I would probably pick like a speed shot or a technical shot, but Jason's pretty good at the speed shots too. If it's me, there's a 10-point follow shot that's a double kiss back. You double kiss a ball that's on the rail, it comes back to a long rail, then hooks around the ball and make a combo. Most people aren't picking that. I have notes on it, but if I'm in his situation, you're hitting a Hail Mary here. You have to hit the 10-pointer on the first try.
Yeah.
Jamie has been practicing a 10-point shot that most people don't hit. We had nicknamed it Jamie's Hail Mary if he were to pull it and make it, because it's one of those, it's very tough to make, but I haven't seen anybody practicing it really and haven't seen anybody make it. So I don't know if he's going to pull it because he has to make it on the first try. So he's really taking his time, making sure he gets it. And if I'm in his shoes, I'm doing the same thing.
Absolutely, because, he needs 10 points and that's it. There's no other way, is there?
Exactly, yeah. He has to hit it on the first try. That's the first part. Yeah. And then Jason has to miss it all 3 times. The actual name of the shot is called this corner stuffing. I think that's what it's called.
And there we see the stall being used
5B.
on the table.
What is
there.
that? Oh, here we go. This is a tricky shot.
Split.
So the cue is actually balanced on a cube of chalk, and it is on the center diamond line. You cannot move where the chalk's at. You shoot the cue ball off the chalk over the combination. It hits the rail, kicks back, and then makes that combination kiss shot.
So, you know, a Hail Mary is usually a pass shot in football. Well, this is a pass shot in the trick shots because that cue ball is going airborne here over the balls.
Oh, this
like the analogy,
Kevin.
So
accurate. You can't afford to get any unwanted English on this, can you, Brian?
Exactly. That's exactly right. Actually, when I shoot this with a break cue.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, we're going to grab. Actually, it says you have to use a new piece of chalk with the chalk up, and Abram's going to go grab a new piece of chalk for us.
Ah. And does it have to be a square? Does it have to be a cube of chalk, or can you use?
Yeah, it has to be the cube.
It can't be like the octagon-shaped Predator chalk.
And it can't be town chalk. It has to be the old-fashioned.
I don't know if I'd want to shoot off a town chalk with the cue ball.
No.
We got some blue diamond chalk.
Yeah, it looks like
that
blue
great
diamond.
incident. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, blue diamond.
There was that great incident at I think it was the Masters in England last year, where I believe it was Max Lechner who actually dropped his bit of town chalk, and it rolled onto the table and hit a ball. Something that wouldn't necessarily happen with a cube of chalk.
That would be a foul.
Yeah, it was a foul, and it cost him the match.
Oh, that's painful.
All right, here we go.
What's the odds? 0.
And that's
Didn't
the
even
match.
Make it.
That's
and
the
how
match.
Annoying is that to not
Wow.
even make it over the balls. Oh, Brian, it's been such a pleasure to share, although we're not in the same booth, but to share microphones with you. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much, Kevin. I'm going to go and get some sleep. I guess we're finished for the day, are we?
We are finished for the day.
Looking forward to tomorrow, semi-finals and final. Thanks ever so much, guys. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all your questions.
Thanks for tuning in, Mark. So Jason Lynch advances past Jamie. So we'll have Jason Lynch versus Abram Diaz tomorrow, and Theo Mihalis versus Tim Chin. So these are great matches scheduled for tomorrow. You will not want to miss that. Starts tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern U.S. time, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. for the following matches. So thank you, Brian. Thank you, Mark, for joining. And on that, that's it for today. We'll see you guys tomorrow. See you guys.
PremierBilliards.com. Exceptional cues, cases, and accessories from premium brands like Q-Tech, Predator, Mucci, and McDermott. Also featuring JB cases, championship felt, and even more. All your billiard supplies, one simple solution. Want it? We've got it. Need it? Get it shipped fast. Find it at PremierBilliards.com.